Ilbijerri Theatre Company's been going for quite a while. We're in our 21st year and I've been there for 3 years. And it was basically born out of a mixture of community artists got together and went about setting up a cooperative. And so it was really important and continues to be very important to have a theatre company that is fundamentally Indigenous controlled. All I'm doing at Ilbijerri Theatre is carrying on the tradition that has been started before me and Uncle Jack's generation, my father's generation. The beginning of black theatre was birthed out of a politic, out of a drive and a need to tell our stories in a way that's powerful, in a way that's impacting, in a way that's going to educate, in a way that's going to inspire. I like to approach the creating of our work, our stories. It's all about the relationship that you have with the storyteller. And for me, it's integral that they have absolute control and a say-so over how that story gets told. And that way, of course, it's done with integrity. When we're working with artists, with creating a new work, their work is being created by the artist that we're working with. And then, obviously, the very first part of that relationship is the contracting agreement, so you kind of both know where both parties stand. And it actually hasn't been straightforward. It hasn't been like there's something you just download and there it is. We've had to kind of negotiate our way through it. I mean, it's actually quite basic and quite simple. At the essence of it is those who were involved in that collaboration get ownership. In a lot of cases, it's like we're forging new territory, which astounds me. I'm like, isn't this the most obvious way to work? But quite often, we have this weird thing in the way we acknowledge ownership of work, and in this case I'm talking about theatre, but quite often the ownership falls to this one person who is designated the writer. And they may have developed that work in a collaborative way with a group of actors. They may have worked with community to get those stories written. They may have continue to develop the work on the rehearsal floor with the director and the actors, and yet only one name goes on the poster. I'm very aware of that. It doesn't reflect actually how the work gets created. To be honest, it is complex. It is very complex. For instance, we did one work where 5 actors all wrote various segments. It was a comedy, and they all wrote 3 to 5 minutes each. Sometimes they wrote them together. Sometimes one would write the majority of it and then get a response from the group. So it was blurry who actually wrote which bits. So that was interesting because you write all their names on the contract, and does that mean they all own that little bit? The contract reflects who owns the script. So the concepts or the ideas aren't covered in that contract as such. So if that actor wants to then go on and develop that character, no one's got copyright or ownership of that character. They own that. So that we realised that there was actually 2 ways it was operating on. Anyway, it's a learning curve, and we negotiated. Every job is slightly different.